Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the very first offerings from the BigBad toy store and Fresh Monkey Fiction collaboration, Operation Monster Force, with Blood Dracula and Forgotten Doom, Omen of Doom, Forgotten King. I almost did it in one take. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Alright, here we go. I was able to pick these up over the weekend at JOEFest, where BigBad Toy Store and Fresh Monkey Fiction had a table, and as you can see right here in the top corner, this is a BigBad Workshop, because it's their collaboration with Fresh Monkey Fiction. You can see Operation Monster Force logo there, the Fresh Monkey Fiction logo in the top, a little bit of information on the back, and you can see everything that he comes with in this bag. Same thing for this one. We've got the BigBad Workshop up there, Operation Monster Force, and the Omen of Doom, Forgotten King. And these guys are looking pretty cool. So let's dive right in and get them opened up. Starting off with the Blood Dracula, we do have this nice display base that looks like a big pool of blood with one little display stand on there. So that's pretty nice. And we have a couple of hands here. We have one gesturing hand, sort of out, using his sort of Dracula powers, and a left and a right version of that. Both of those have horizontal hinges. We have two like trigger finger hands with the claws out. Both of these are on horizontal hinges as well. And then on him in the package we have two regular gripping hands. He does come with this sword with this bat and dragon motif on the hilt and on the handle, so that's really cool. I kind of dig that. And then he does come with a alternate head. This has the mouth open, teeth baring, his fangs are out. His eyes are sort of like painted like this black color, so I hope you guys can see that. This is very translucent plastic here. And here is the regular head that comes on him out of the package. The mouth is closed, a little more stoic face here. You can see that he does have gripping hands, no claws out, and they are on vertical hinges. Nope, horizontal hinges. Horizontal hinges there. And man, this thing, at first blush, this thing feels just like a G.I. Joe Classified series figure. It feels like it has about the same bulk and width here in the legs. If this was a G.I. Joe figure, if you told me this was a G.I. Joe figure, I'd believe you, because it has the same sort of proportions and articulation down there as in the legs as a Joe. It feels like the cape up here is kind of like one solid piece, but down here it's this softer, more gummy sort of fruit by the foot is what this looks like to me. I'm ready to chew it and see if that's strawberry or cherry. But going over the articulation, of course, he's not going to be able to look up too much because of that hair, but he can look down really far. I want to see what kind of head we're dealing with here. And the neck peg came with it, and it looks like we have like a separate neck joint here. But what's going on here? So we have a ball joint down in the torso, and then that plugs in. Let me see if I can get this off by holding that neck down a little bit, and I want to be very careful. There we go. And then we do, yep, that's what I thought. We have a hinge in there. I really like that. That is a really good articulation solution for the neck. You get lots of range of motion there. For the rest of this video, let's pop on the more vampiric Dracula head with the teeth bared. That looks really cool of what we can see of it. He can go higher than that T-pose, which is really, really nice. He has some very nice articulation on these arms. They can spin all the way around. You've got this really nice, beautiful like butterfly joint right in here that works very well. You can cross over and get your arm in front of the body about that far. It doesn't leave too much of a gap, although it is kind of hard to see. Oh, we have a little plug in the back for backpack accessories. So that's kind of cool. We have an upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which is very nice. I'm digging that. I like it. It's pinless, although this is translucent, so you can't see it. We have a vertical hinge and swivel here at the wrist. The hands are very easy to pop out, and pop back in. So I really like that. I don't know what the quality of this plastic quality for the translucent figures feels really good. There does feel like there is a slight torso joint. I don't want to pull this apart at the waist because ultimately this is not going to be my figure. But it does feel like there's a slight torso joint there. It looks like the jacket is kind of hindering that, but you can bend it forward and back a little bit. It does rotate at the waist. I'm hoping some more different style of figures have different articulation at the chest. Leg does go all the way forward like that, and it goes all the way out to the side about that far. It does have a really nice drop down joint, so that's really good. We've got all the articulation right here. You can only go back about that far because he does have like a little vampire booty getting in the way. He has a little bit of a swivel at the top of the thigh joint, and we have a thigh cut. We have double jointed knees that bend about that far back. Sorry, I'm kind of off camera. Again, pinless joints, which is nice. We have an upper boot cut, which is really cool. I dig that. No swivel at the foot, but we do have a hinge and a rocker. Again, sorry I'm off camera here. But yeah, there's no swivel there, just hinge and rocker. And then let's see here. Let's go ahead and get his sword in his hand. I would be really interested to see the quality of plastic difference between these translucent figures and then the final production, the plastic on the final figures. I don't know if it's the same or if it's a different plastic, but man, he looks really tough. He looks really cool. So let's get into the Forgotten King. All right, starting off with his accessories, we do have two of these really cool magic effects. I really dig the way these look. They're very neat and different than what we've seen before in the past with like Marvel Legends or Mythic Legions. We do have this little sort of staff, and you can do a little bit of couple of different things here. You can put his staff topper on top of it and sort of like make this kind of like a magical staff. It's got like a pharaoh and some dragons going on, and then it also has this little blade, and you can put this on the end and you can have a magical staff and a bladed weapon all together, which is cool. Or you can remove the magic staff portion of it and just have some sort of crescent moon style axe, and I kind of dig that. You have some options there for his weapons, and I like that. He comes with several sets of hands. He's got a couple of karate chopping or saluting hands here. Didn't know that mystical godlike pharaohs did karate, but hey, that's cool. We've got a couple of fists here on horizontal hinges, and then we have a couple of his mystical magic wielding effect hands that have horizontal hinges as well. And I really like this little display because you can stand it up like this. It looks kind of like a grave. It's got the logo on it, but you can also turn it around flat, and it's got two foot pegs on it for a display base. And I dig that. I think that's really cool. That's pretty neat. So you can use it either way. I think that's really neat. I'm not sure I've ever seen somebody do that before. Here we have a look at the Forgotten King himself. You can see here that he's got some sort of like pharaoh style helmet. I wish I could see this a little bit better, but we've seen pictures of these figures before. It's very soft and pliable on top. This is pretty much the exact same figure as the Dracula figure as far as like the coat goes, the arms, the legs. Really the only thing here that's different, even the boots are the same. The only thing that's different is the head sculpt and the piece that's sculpted underneath. Over here, we've got like this tie and vest looking sort of like Moon Knight in a way. And then over here, Dracula's got like this ascot and like this double-breasted vest underneath that looks really cool. And of course, the heads are different. But other than that, it's a 95% same figure. 90% same figure. You can move the head backwards and forwards that much. You got a lot of tilt. We're not going to go over all the articulation because it's exactly the same as Dracula. Arms can go out and hit that T-pose, no problem. Can spin all the way around. You've seen the articulation here. We went over it. This is about how far he can get over in front of his body. That cloak on the lower part is just as soft and pliable as Dracula's, so that same range of motion is going to apply to the legs and the feet. So let's try out one of his magic effects here and see how this works. We're just going to kind of push it on there a little bit, and kind of plugs in over the coat, which is really nice. And then you can just put the hand there to sort of hold it in place. You've done this before with like a Marvel Legends, like say Doctor Strange figure, or if you've got Mythic Legions, then you've done this before with some of their magic effects. You've done it before, you know what you're in for here. Let's give him the magical staff, and there you have it. He's kind of all kitted out with his gear, and in his spectral form, he looks really cool. I can imagine anybody who's really getting into this line is going to want these variations for their shelf. So let's see here. I've got a little black light because I think this guy's probably going to be black light reflective or reactive. Let me turn one of the lights off here and you can see how that works. Yeah, I mean, my battery probably needs to be replaced, but it's not the brightest, but it works, and it gives it a nice little color changing effect, so that's pretty cool. So let's get these guys standing straight up and down and compare them with some other figures in this scale. All right, here we have Dracula and the Forgotten King standing straight up and down. Here we are with a Luke Skywalker Black Series figure. Here we have him next to G.I. Joe Classifieds. The Classifieds figure, you know, it's going to stand just a little bit taller. I'm not sure how well, you know, Copperhead here scales with other Joes. I think he's probably an average height Joe. Here he is. Here are these two figures next to a Masters of the Universe Origins He-Man figure. And then let's get Copperhead out of the way and let's bring in Billbone's Broken Shield for Mythic Legions, so you guys see how they stack up next to your Mythic Legions figures. I think most people are going to work these into their G.I. Joe line because they really have some figures that go well with military. If you want to have your Joes fighting monsters, I think these are going to work well. Here he is next to a McFarlane Batman, Hush Batman figure. So, you know, those stand 7 inches, so you're definitely not going to be able to work them in with those. Here he is next to a Mafex Batman from The Batman, Battinson, as we're come to know and love him. And then let's bring in a Mezco 1/12 collective figure so you can work them into your Mezco 1/12 line as well, because I think they scale very well with those guys. So let's get these guys out of the way, get our two guys here into some backgrounds and into some lighting and see how they pose up. This is, I gotta say, a line that I haven't really paid much attention to. I see it every time a wave goes up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store. It seems like they have pre-ordered now somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 or 8 waves of these figures, and none of them have shipped yet. But I know that that is such the case with figures that are new to market. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and I know these guys have put in a lot of work because they've already shown us so many different variations of figures, and this line looks like it's already, you know, got what, 30 or 40 different figures in this line already, and these are the first 2 to make it to market. So I definitely wanted to get these up on the review space and review them for you guys so you can get a chance to look at them and have like a first look before they hit market. And I want to give a big shout out to my buddy Greg, who does Double Jointed with me. You guys know him, you guys love him. These are actually his figures. I picked them up for him because he's picking up this line, and so thank you, Greg, for letting me review these figures before I ship them out, and they are on their merry little way to your toy shelf. So if you guys are, want to pick up these particular versions, Fresh Monkey Fiction did say they were going to have some up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store soon, and I'm really hoping that they get them up there for anybody who missed out on them at JOEFest or any other show that Fresh Monkey Fiction may be at this summer. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and I will see you in the toy aisles.